Ready?
Yeah.
Go for it.
June 30th, 2015 was the day that changed my life forever. I thought my boyfriend loved me, but let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that rape does not equal love. Rape and sexual assault was something that was never talked about in my home, or my school, or even the church that I attended. I was very naive to the facts of what rape and sexual assault actually was. It took me a long time to believe that what I had gone through, I had only heard about on the news or seen on TV shows and movies, and to be quite honest, that caused a lot of misunderstandings. I no longer want to sit in silence about the things that matter. So today I will be speaking on the statistics on reported assaults, myths and facts on saying no, and what to do if you're ever raped or sexually assaulted. The first part in understanding the facts of rape and sexual assault is understanding who is capable of doing it in the first place, and the answer to that is anyone. What do you think of when I say the word rape? You're probably thinking of the scenario of the stranger jumping out of the bushes at night. And while some people do actually have that experience, most of the time rape and sexual assault is committed by those who we know, love, and trust most. According to RAINN.org, 59% of perpetrators were an acquaintance or significant other to the victim. 34% was a family member, and 7% was a stranger. Another vital thing to understand is that no actually means no. It's vocal, it's enthusiastic, and it's continuous. According to Bustle.com, myth number 1 states that silence gives consent. But the fact of that is that if you're not comfortable, you're silent, and therefore you can't give consent. It means no. Every individual has a personal response to a dangerous situation, and that is fight, flight, or freeze. And in this situation, the victim is frozen because they're in shock of what is happening, or they do not want to provoke their perpetrator even more, especially if violence is threatened. Myth number 2 is that one yes means yes throughout. But the fact is, consent once isn't continuous consent. Therefore, after you make it known that you do not want to continue, anything forced after that is rape and sexual assault. After you make it known that you want to stop, the other party should stop immediately. Myth number 3, it says that if an individual is drunk, unconscious, or a minor, it's okay to act on a yes. But the fact is, if an individual that is not in a sober state of mind, unconscious, or too young, is not fully capable of understanding what is going on, and therefore they cannot consent to it, so it means no. Now that you have that information, it's important to know what you can do if you ever find yourself a victim of this heinous crime. The first thing to do is go to the hospital immediately and request a rape kit. A rape kit is meant to collect evidence for if you prosecute and get immediate help for any kind of injury that you might have. Avoid bathing, changing clothes, or using the restroom, and they will take immediate care of any injury that you might have. You'll get a head-to-toe examination and a possible mandatory reporting. The second thing you can do is prosecute your perpetrator. In my case, I got a restraining order, but you can press criminal charges as well. It's not an easy process, but don't stay a victim your whole life. That's one thing I can't stress enough. If it happens on school campus, report it to the campus police and report it to the Dean of Student Services, and they can accommodate you furthermore after that. For example, I reported to my school, and my perpetrator was put on a 1-year probation, which meant that he was not allowed on school campus at any time during that year. This trench coat, although very fashionable, I do say, the dark color symbolizes the deep depression I fell into after that June evening. I was very naive about who was capable of raping me. I didn't understand the very many ways of saying no, and I didn't know the proper steps to take afterwards, but now I do. And my purpose is to spread the confidence by giving you this life-saving information. felt weak, wounded, and dirty. And while I still struggle with PTSD, depression, and anxiety, when I finally understood and believed that it was never my fault, I didn't feel dirty anymore, which is why my shirt is white to symbolize purity. I became strong and confident, bold. I'm a survivor, a thriver, and someday I hope to be an inspirer. You're never alone. It is not, nor will it ever be your fault. And no absolutely means no.